Hey, it's Josh Gale with the Office People, and today I'm joined by Norman Cruikshank. And Norman has years and years and years of industry experience, and we've known each other for almost 3 years now. And he has shared a ton of valuable information with me as a director of technology and marketing. I always look out for Norman to show me some of the digital printing trends, mail trends, anything that I can do to create more demand for our products and services to customers, and other ways that can increase productivity when it comes to printing large pieces in different products. So I'm going to turn it over to Norman, and he's going to show you some of the incredible things you can do with the production printers and Fiery Freeform Create.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh. Again, my name is Norman Cruikshank with Sharp Electronics. I've been in this industry going on 20 years now, and I've watched it change over the years. And the digital design and creation of documents is the thing that is, in my opinion, is still as strong as ever. The ability to market has not changed. Marketing will be around, and I think marketing pieces will continue to be around. The one trend that is still continuing, and even, wow, more so now than ever before, because our mail is more important to us today. I mean, am I the only one that goes to the mailbox and is excited about today just getting something out of the mail because, there's so little going on? And so the mailbox is important, and the trends have been showing this for the last couple of years, that people actually are more apt to respond to a mail piece than they are to an email, even a phone call. Physical mail connects with people, and the thing that I'm going to show today is this free download. It's called Freeform Create. EFI launched this about 5 or 6 months ago, and it's basically a free design application which allows me to use variable data, so I can basically marry an Excel file just like we would do in a Microsoft Word environment. But this is really geared towards the Fiery, right, and being able to marry image and data, and then let the Fiery put those two together. So, Josh, I'm going to open up one of these. And
Okay.
then,
And just quickly, just to touch on, for those that are in marketing and that use Fiery, the percentage. Can you talk about the real quickly the percentage of increase for open rate when a piece of mail is personalized?
absolutely, yeah. So thanks for bringing that up. So the percentage of response rate, that if I just send out a mailer and it goes to an address, it goes to an individual, like resident, right? It's a very generic piece. Response on those is in the 1 to 2 percentile, very low. But statistics show that if I can personalize a piece of information, a letter, I can put a name on it, I can actually put an image that connects with a person, maybe of something that they purchased or something that they relate to, right? So it could be age related, it could be maybe hobbies, that kind of thing. If I can connect to that person and make it personal, they can get as much as 30% response. And for
Wow.
a marketing person, Josh, you tell me, that's pretty phenomenal,
Yeah.
right?
That's pretty
Yeah,
phenomenal. And right now, during this time when we're creating that demand for our products and our services, or we're getting our message across as a nonprofit or whatever it is, that 30% means everything. So this is a really important piece for marketers to understand right now.
absolutely. I mean, personally, I know that I'm online a lot. I'm watching church online, right? As you probably
Right.
are.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I'm jumping around. I'm looking at all the different services that are out there. But staying connected to your people during this time, it's so important, right? So
Yeah.
that would be, to me, it'd be a great way to connect with them, to connect with anybody for that matter. Donations, fundraisers, newsletters, postcards, anything that just say, hey, we want you to know that we acknowledge you're still out there. We appreciate you, and we want to see you. We want to connect with you, right? So I'm going to
Yes.
open this newsletter, and this is a newsletter that we created. It's just basically a very simple one sheet, front and back, and it allows me to marry a database. So very simply, you can see the fields here as this opens up: first name, last name, address, city, state. And because the orientation of this particular job, I had to flip these around. So I'm going to back out of this just a little bit so you can kind of see perspective on the size of the document. So I'm able to look at page 1, and I'm able to look at page 2. So notice page 2, right? I can put the first name of the individual in and basically personalize this message by saying, hey, Sandy, and or Aura or Michael or Amy or whatever the name of the person is. I can insert that and make it a personalized piece. So the first thing they see when they open the mail and they see their name, right? People love to see their name in print. And as you
Yes.
can see there, it's very predominant on this page, and it personalizes this whole message. And if I go back to the first page, which is really where the fold is, and you can see now that it is indeed a mailer. And so my information here, I'm able to see kind of the layout, how it flows, whether the name, address, and everything is proportionate, whether it's lined up properly. And this is a feature that I love, and that's the fact that I can go to the longest name by just picking it and showing here when I click on it
Mm.
to make sure that that name fits. You know, with a name like Crookshank, yeah, my name never fits, Josh. It's just the fact of
No.
life. It's like I probably should be checking to make sure my name fits, but of course it fits on there perfectly, and then I can go
Right.
back to my and clear that filter, and then now I can go through all my records and see what all of them look like. And then if I decide that, you know what, I am not really wild about where that is or the font, by just clicking on one of these fields, this is just probably the easiest interface that I've ever used. You literally go over here and you can drag and drop your field, and it just drops right
Mm.
onto the page. And then from here, I'm able to move it around. I can change the font size. So by just typing in the font size, I can change the size, I can change the font. So anything that's on my computer, you know, if I want to go Arial Black, and then I can bump it up because it's not quite big enough. And then, you know, by flipping this thing around, you can see I can just flip it. And this feature, if I shift and click, it allows me to select all these fields. And then over here under arrange, it makes sure that all those are lined up. So if I wanted to line them up and they were off center, it would look kind of funky. But the features
Right.
that are built in allow me to line those up and make sure that everything's proportionate. Really strong. I'm going to delete that off. But the other thing is I can bring in over here on the left side, you'll notice I don't have any, but images, barcodes. I could actually put in a custom text piece if I wanted to, and type in a message and then insert somebody's name into that, like I did on page 2 here. So the beauty of this is that I have the ability to design, preview, and then over here up on the top, I have the ability to connect to whatever Fiery is on my network. And by just simply hitting print or hold, it sends the images and the data completely wrapped up in a nice package that's not going to bring your network to a standstill or a a traffic jam, if you will. And it's so easy. I did this for a shelter. They were doing 9,000 contribution letters a month. So
Wow.
think about their livelihood, Josh, depended on getting these letters to the people on their mailing list, right? And so they
Right.
use
And
this.
normally to do an export of variable data from InDesign or anything like that, and then export and
Yep,
send over thousands
yep,
of letters to your printer
yep.
would take up all of your bandwidth, all of your everything, and really kind of bottleneck your whole
Oh, yeah, they
system,
couldn't do
and
it.
it would just take forever.
Yeah,
No.
they couldn't even do it. They had to take
Wow.
it in chunks and send it over in 100 and 100 and 100 and then do it over and over. With this, we
Wow.
actually took their entire database, we brought it in, we married it to the newsletter, we hit send to Fiery, and it sent all 9,000 over at one time. It was a 4-page
Wow.
document, right? And it married the
Right.
document, it sent them to the finisher, and they just simply took them off and they put them in the envelope and they sent them off. And I mean, it saved them so much time, and then it just automated that whole process. And so
Right. And if you believe that time is money, then
always,
this is something that's paying for itself.
absolutely,
And then looking at all this, if you're familiar, whether you use Microsoft Publisher, if you're a little bit,
yep,
and you've been using that for 20 years and you're sticking to that, you can still quickly learn how to use Freeform Create if you're into Adobe, Photoshop or Illustrator or InDesign, or you're using Canva. And you're bringing in your base pieces,
yep.
and then you're adding the text. You're adding all these different things to make sure everything fits. And this is really a really smart piece of technology and software that is actually doing a lot more in the background than we think it is.
I mean, it's so easy. I mean, I use InDesign, and a lot of people do. I know a lot of people that use Microsoft Publisher, and that's pretty easy. But this, it's so simple. Like if I wanted to create a new content, I could literally take a PDF file and I could drag it, and I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna drag it over. So let's just say I wanted to use this real estate piece, and I can pick it up and drag it, and I drop it into that space right there, and look at it right there. It sets it up, and then the next thing that it wants me to do is to grab my Excel file, which I have right here. I'm going to drag it, boom, and I'm going to drop it right there in that space, and it pulls all the data source. Look at that. It
Wow.
sets it up so I can say, you know what, I don't really want to use the property address, so you could turn that off. Turn that off. There it is, or turn it on. And then from here, it just will then give me all those points, those data points, and I can create and design. This one actually has some really cool features in that it has images. So what it does is it kind of uses a logic in that with each line in Excel, it says, hey, this rep's name is Sarah. Then grab this image, and what you'll notice is that when I go to preview, depending on which of these that I choose, it changes the image. How
Wow.
cool is that? So it
That's really cool.
personalizes this. So everything that this guy is engaged with property wise, his picture shows up. Um, and the other part that I love is the ability to take a picture of the property, right? And I can bring that over, and these pictures are in a database. And so based on the property address, it pulls up the actual picture of that property. And so then going back to preview, you can see that based on which one of these fields that I choose, it changes both the property image and the person's picture. So, okay, let's apply that back right to nonprofits or to church. I could change the background based on the person's age, or maybe where they live or what their interests are. Kids, you might want to put a picture of the youth pastor on there, right? And then something
Right.
cool and trendy, a picture. But the pictures can change, and what that does, right, is it focuses on your audience. And the more focused you are on your audience, you know this, Josh, as a marketing person,
Right.
right? The more
Right.
response you're going to get from that target audience. And that's really what
Right.
this
And we
is
can't
doing.
really forget we can't forget our older constituents too. They
Absolutely.
love printed
Oh,
material. They love
without
something
a
in their
doubt.
hands. If you're trying to transition them into this time of getting online and streaming services or anything like that, a little how-to postcard or anything like that, you know, um, it's just really important during this time. And yes, right now we're at getting tax returns and stimulus checks. So people who are already generous will probably be tithing
Yep.
or giving based on these extra things that are coming in. So getting out some of these donation letters that are personalized and those types of things for nonprofits are really important right now.
Absolutely. And people are forgetting, quite frankly, they're not going. So money's tight, right? So to
Right.
keep that in front of them and go, hey, your generosity is appreciated. That's a huge thing. You talked about connecting the print to the online, and something that this allows. This is really cool. There's actually a QR code that we can drop in here, and there are all these different codes that we're able to use. But I'm going to choose this right.
There you go.
Yeah, it was right there.
Right past it. There you go.
And basically, using your iPhone or Android, you scan it, and then it takes you to that drop site. So this is actually connected. There you go.
Oh, so opening up your camera, so everybody's like, "Well, I don't have a QR code reader." If you've got a newer smartphone or any kind of
Right.
smartphone, opening up the camera
That's it.
on your
That's all
device
you got
and
to do.
then holding it up to the thing, to the QR code is going to open up a website, and then that's what it does.
Yeah.
So um, that is simple for
And it's
people to be able to
actually
do,
doing
and
it
people
right
forget to
now.
do that.
And it pops
Yeah,
up the website, and then all you do is you touch on it, and it takes you right to it.
yeah.
It's so simple. But those are
Some people tried to refuse the QR code movement, and some folks say didn't. We put it on pieces. We put it on signs.
yeah,
We put it on different things.
yeah.
If you want Wi-Fi access, if you want whatever it may be, giving portal, whatever it may be, you can actually make that into a QR
Yep.
code, any kind of site.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good it's a great way to connect the printed material to the online, and that's really the end result is getting somebody
Right.
from that physical piece of printed material to a drop site of some sort. So as you can see, I mean, it is this is my favorite program, and I'm a graphics guy. Just the ability, the ease. I mean, I haven't been using this long, but it's just so easy. I just pick on the piece that I want. I put it over here. I can change the size. Um, it's a great resource. And again, it doesn't cost anything, and especially if you've got a Fiery, doesn't even have to be our Fiery. It could be any Fiery. It works on any Fiery. So the good news is take advantage of the technology. Josh, there's a ton of videos also. So this is the part that I love about the EFI. If I go to, there's a read, I'm going to pull this over into the screen so that you can see it. This PDF file, it's basically a how-to in how to create
Right.
these files. And if I go down to the particular piece that we're working on right now, it has a video, and the video essentially walks through step by step. It's right here. I just click on that link, and it opens the video up. And by clicking on it, she just walks you through literally step by step how to set up the database, how to set up the piece, where to add each piece. It's so easy, and that's basically how I learned how to use it is by those videos. They're all free. They're all on EFI's website, and it's super easy to follow. So um, there you go.
Awesome. I love it. Well, thank you for your
My
time.
pleasure.
We are here to help. Sharp is here to help. The office people, we are here to help. If you've got a fire or production machine or anything, then and you're kind of using some of these softwares like Fiery, Command Workstation, things like that, but you're not using it to its full ability, or you're not sure how to use Freeform Create, reach out to us. Whether
Yep,
you currently do business with us or not, we're here to help. This is a time where we, as a nation, we're coming together and everybody is helping.
absolutely.
So we have time. We do virtual meetings every single day with customers. We do virtual meetings for all of our products, whether it's audio, visual, office furniture, print, anything like that. We're here to help. We're here to help you save money, increase productivity. We know that your workforce might be a little scaled back. Any way that we can help you guys to continue productivity or increase it, or save money or anything like that, please let us know. You can find all of our information, theofficepeople.com. We also have some deals for your home office as well. So if you're still trying to get some printing done or get some of this work done from home, we want to help you do that as well. So Norman, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to the time when you can come back and
Absolutely.
sit with us here in our office. And we enjoy all of our time with you here in Charleston, and we just look forward to that time.
Appreciate
And
that.
so, yes. Anyways, well, stay safe, stay
Will do.
healthy, and please reach out, everyone. We would love to help you.
Thanks, Josh.